What is going on, y'all? On Warren Cars, back again with another car buyer's guide. Hope you guys had a great Wednesday. It is Thursday. Good afternoon. Had a late start this morning, but we are here. Got to get it done every day, no matter what time. But yeah, on to the next car review. As I said, what we do here on the channel, if you're new here, is we do car reviews, but specifically we focus on spec. A lot of car not reviews, buyer's guides, but a lot of buyer's guides, they focus on problems with the car, stuff you got to look out for when you're buying it. What I focus on is how to option the car. There are a ton of different options for these cars, and like a lot of different ways you can configure your car. And what I've found is a lot of people actually own their car and they really don't understand what packages they have or what features their car has when it comes to reselling, and they often lose out on a lot of money because they don't understand how rare their car is if it has some pretty rare packages. So what we're going to do today is go over the specs, the features, and the problems. So the problems, options, the features, options, and problems for the Corvette Stingray C7. So what we're going to be doing today is specifically just the Stingray and Z51 and Grand Sport packages. So we're saving the Z06 and ZR1 trim levels of the Corvette Corvette C7 for another video. Today we're just going to be doing the Stingray, the base model. We're going to be doing Z51 package cars and Grand Sports. And obviously I know it should be just Stingray and Grand Sport. Z51 is just a package. It's not really a special type of car, but I think it is its own car because of all the differences that the Z51 actually has. But we'll get into all that in a second. Real quick, before I get into that, let's go over some announcements. Don't forget to join my Discord, get some insider info, as well as getting the notes for the show. I post them all in the Discord. I'm trying to find, where's the internet? And I'm about to post this in here right now. The notes for the C7 Stingray. Cool. And yep, that is in there. Again, join the Discord. Also, don't forget to like and comment and subscribe to the channel. I know a lot of you guys are here just watching. You guys aren't subscribed. You're just a ninja watcher. You don't comment. You don't like. Just do one of them. Subscribe, like, or comment. Just, do something. You're watching this. Let me get something in return. Thank you. All right, cool. Anyway, real quick, I want to introduce to you a new member of the On Warren Cars family. Say hello to my boy Seth. Say hello, Seth. Say hi to the camera. He doesn't like being held. But yeah, this is my new boy. You love cars, don't you? I know. But yeah. Say hi to the camera, Seth. Alright, you can go now. So, yep, those are the announcements. Don't forget to also follow me on TikTok as well as Instagram. I post reels. They're just highlights basically from the show. Move, man. I thought you were going to get down. Anyway, all right. I need access to my mouse or something. All right. Anyway, let's get on to the show. Features, options, and problems. So let's start off with the features, obviously. Oh, wrong page. Here we go. So, as I mentioned, we are just going to be doing the base cars as well as Grand Sport, so no Z06, no ZR1. The Corvette was produced, the C7 was produced from 2014 to 2019. 5-year range, pretty standard for a Corvette, even though some Corvettes have gone for 10 years plus and others have gone shorter than this. Pretty short range for the car. 6.2 liter LT1 V8 is the engine used in the base Corvettes. 455 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. Very potent engine. And you could either get a 6-speed, an 8-speed, or a 7-speed manual. The 6-speed only came in the 2014 model after 2014, so 2015 plus. Hey, what are you doing, man? So 2015 plus came with the 8-speed, otherwise known as the A6 or the A8. You could get all model years with the 7-speed manual. This car, Corvettes in general have always been known to use fiberglass for their body panels. This car uses fiberglass and carbon fiber for its body panels on top of an aluminum frame. It's available as a coupe and convertible. As I mentioned before, Z06 and Z01 are also available. The main competitors for the Stingray Corvette are going to be the F-Type, the M3, M4, Shelby Mustang, Hellcat, Viper. The interesting thing about the Corvette is that because of its performance to price ratio, it kind of fits in a lot of different categories. You have, cheaper, the cheaper American muscle side, like you have Mustangs, Camaros, Hellcats, or just 392s in general, SRTs. You can also compare it to the Hellcat because that is also like a step above. Like a 392 would be a step below, a Hellcat would be a step above in terms of performance, obviously. And then the M3, M4, it's more luxurious, but it doesn't have as much displacement. It's not as true sports car. It's more of like a daily driver. F-Type is close. It's not as big as the Corvette. It's a smaller car, but still has a V8. The only problem is F-Type doesn't offer a V8 manual. But it just fits in between so many different categories, which is why the Corvette is such a well-renowned car and why people love it so much, is because the performance it offers for the price is just unmatched. Literally the best bargain in terms of performance cars. However, you do, that does show in some ways in terms of the quality of the interior, in terms of materials, as well as, the fit and finish. So we'll go over changes by model year. They're not really that many changes. We'll go into more detail with the trim packages, but 2014, first model year. 2015, they introduced a flat bottom steering wheel, and they had different axles, which from the 2014 because of the different transmission. 2016, we had the composite composition of the fiberglass panels actually changed to reduce weight. So 2016 has different style or different fiberglass panel makeups. And they also added Apple CarPlay and front cameras. For 2017, the Grand Sport was added, and then for 2018, they improved the paint process. I believe it was more automated, more robots were involved, and they also used robots to sand the panels beforehand, which I guess improves the paint finish. And then you also have 2018 base Stingrays get the Z51 wheels, which is going to be the 19 inches in the front and 20 inches in the rear. Previously, there would be 18 inches in the front, 19 inches in the rear. And then for 2019, no big changes. So here we get to the biggest part of the features, options, and problems. The options part, there are a ton of different options for this car, but I'll try to sum it up in the best way possible. I'm going to have to do a lot of formatting here because there is a ton of information. Let's get this over. Let's make this as small as we can make it. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. I should have done this before the show, but yeah, this almost there. Give me 1 second. I'm about to do half and half. Yep, half and half works way better. Give me 1 minute. I just got to get this all situated and then we'll be all set. Make this small. Are you serious, man? All right, we're going to have to get this up. Okay, let's restart this. Third time's the charm, right? I guess not. You know what? We'll try this last time, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We'll have to figure something else out because this is such a waste of time. And then, here we go. All right, God, there's so much stuff for this Corvette, but don't worry, we'll make it all simple. All right, perfect. Okay, cool. So on the left, you can see we have the 1LT, 2LT, and 3LT trim packages, as well as the Z51 performance package. These are going to be the main things to look for on these Corvettes. On the right, we have other packages you can get, and underneath that, we have the options. So I'll read them through real quick, and then we'll look at the specifics on the brochure. So 1LT is going to be the base model. This basically had, you know, all the base features. It changed, and there were a ton of features on the base model specifically that, you know, it's redundant to mention because they're on every model, but we'll go over it on the brochure. 2LT added basically what had the base model, or what the base model has, plus heated and power exterior mirrors with auto dimming, advanced theft deterrent, color keyed console and door armrest, HUD frameless, auto dimming rearview mirror, heated and ventilated bucket seats, driver's side 2-position memory, luggage, net and shade, home garage transmitter 10 speaker Bose system as opposed to the 9 speaker in the stock car or the base car. You had the Corvette seat badging on the 2015 model plus. You had the front curb view cameras on the 2016 model plus. Yeah, and then for 3LT, you had GPS, leather wrapped and color keyed instrument panel, doors and console, Napa leather, seating surfaces, performance data recorder on 2015 plus, very big option. And then suede microfiber upper interior trim packages, meaning the A-pillars as well as the roof are going to be in suede 2015 plus. And then, so this is important, the Z51 performance package is something that can be found on all 1LT, 2LT, and 3LT cars. It doesn't matter. It is a package that can be had on any car. And what this includes is a performance manual transmission with shorter gear ratios. You have an electronic limited slip differential. You have diff and trans coolers. You have heavy duty engine cooling, which just means it's a more built up system. It just handles more volume. You have a dry sump oil system, which is huge, which is very interesting that they literally give you a whole new bottom end of the car for a package that can be had on any car. And this is why I think that the Z51 is its own car. So we're doing 3 cars, Stingray, Z51, and Grand Sport, all different cars in my opinion. You also have upgraded shocks, springs, and stabilizer bars for a stiffer, sportier ride. You have slotted rotors. A big way to tell the Z51 package off rip is the slotted rotors. You also have larger 19/20-inch wheels. So 19s in the front, 20s in the back, as opposed to the 18-19s. As I mentioned before, for the 2018, the Stingray, the regular base car, got the 19s and 20s. However, before that, the Z51 had the exclusive 19 and 20s. And then you also have the Aero package, which includes a front spoiler and the rear spoiler. Hey man, you good? You all right? All right, cool. Cool, you got that. All right, now we'll look at the packages. There are a ton of different packages, a ton of different things you can do with this car. It gets kind of confusing, honestly, but we'll go through them. You have the carbon flash package, which is basically carbon fiber badges. You have the ZF1 appearance package, which is the Z51. Let's see, it's the Z51. I'm losing the word. It's the Z51 aesthetic upgrades, and that's it. So no performance upgrades for the Z51, just the aesthetic ones. You have the painted carbon fiber ground effects package. So basically this is painted carbon fiber, not exposed, not visible carbon fiber. You have Pacific design package for 2015. You have the Atlantic design package for 2015. You have the Twilight blue, spice red, and black suede design packages from 2016 onwards. And then you also had the suede microfiber wrapped upper interior package for 2016 plus. This was standard on 2015 plus 3LTs, but on 2016 plus you could get it as an option for any car. You also had the visible carbon ground effects package. So this is it's similar to painted, except this is going to be visible, so it's actual carbon. This is available for the Grand Sport, which is 2017 plus. You also had the Z07 performance package, which gave Z06 handling stuff and bigger brakes to the Grand Sport. So you could get the Z07 performance package, which also comes with the carbon ceramics, not just bigger brakes, carbon ceramics for the Grand Sport. And then for the Grand Sport, you also have 2 specific packages. The Grand Sport, man, this guy always wants to go hide somewhere. The Grand Sport Heritage package and the Grand Sport Collector Edition. As I mentioned before, the Grand Sport 2017 plus. The Grand Sport also made 5 more horsepower than stock, made 460 horsepower, and it made 10 more pound-feet of torque. This comes from the performance exhaust upgrade, so you can get these power and torque upgrades on any car if you get the performance exhaust. Let's see. I'm trying to see because I don't remember reading out performance exhaust, but that comes with one of these. We'll get to there. I forgot to write performance exhaust unless that's an option here. Anyway, so you also get 6-piston front calipers on the Grand Sport. You have the wide body style from the Z06, so completely different body from the Stingray. And then you also have mag ride control standard with performance traction management. That is an option for 2016 or 17 plus cars, I believe, to get performance traction management, but that comes standard on the Grand Sport. And then finally, you have these a la carte options. As I mentioned before, the 6-speed or the 8-speed, depending on the year. The 6-speed was for the 2014, the 8-speed is for 2015 plus. You also have the 7-speed manual. You also have the performance exhaust, so right here. The horsepower goes up to 460. Mag ride control is an option for all years. Mag ride control with performance traction management is 2018 plus, excuse me. You also have the battery protection package, which basically adds a trickle charger system to the car so you can keep it on the charger. You have the carbon flash rear spoiler and mirrors. So it's going to be carbon. I don't think it's actual carbon because it's called carbon flash. So I think it looks like carbon, but it's carbon, rear spoiler and mirrors. You have red or yellow brake calipers with a black option for 2015 plus. You also have the option between GT bucket seats or the sport bucket seats. There's only two options. You'll be able to tell the difference. The sport buckets have like this angle part in the headrest. It goes out like this. And then the regular GT buckets are going to be the standard seats that you're going to see in most cars. The sport competition sport buckets are very rare. You also have the suede microfiber wrapped upper interior package, as I mentioned before, the carbon fiber trim on instrument panel option. You have the wheel choice option, ton of wheels for this car. You have the transparent targa roof option or the carbon fiber targa roof option. You also have the performance data recorder available as a standalone option from 2015 plus. However, it was a standard option on the 3LT, so keep that in mind. You have the exterior vent color. 2015 plus, you could choose that. Red or yellow custom leather stitching, 2016 plus. And then carbon fiber exposed weave on the hood inserts for 2016 plus. Two-tone seats on 2016 plus as well. Although I have seen some pre-2016 cars with two-tone seats. Not sure if those are custom or this build sheet isn't correct. Not sure. And then for 2018 plus, you had the option of red belts. So let's get on to the brochure. Let's take a look and see. We'll take a look at the base here, 2014. And just take a look at some of the colors and wheel options. So as you can see, this is the 2014 model. It has the round steering wheel, completely round. The only model year to have the completely round steering wheel in 2015. Well, mid-year 2015, they actually introduced the flat bottom steering wheel, but that was mid-year. Let's see. Let's look at some of the colors. So these are going to be your interior color options. You have black leather, adrenaline red, gray leather, and black leather / suede microfiber inserts. You also have Kalahari leather. Yeah, so this is going to be the first model year colors. The colors changed. Here we have the colors for the exterior. You have Laguna blue, lime rock green, velocity yellow, arctic white, blade silver, black, crystal red, cyber gray, torch red, and night blue metallic, as well as these are going to be your convertible top colors. And then here we have color combos for the convertible cars, what they recommend. And then below that, we can see these are going to be your wheel options. 3 different wheel options in different finishes. We have this 5-spoke right here. We have the double 5-spoke, and then we have like a turbine style. Let's see what they call them. 5-spoke machine faced, Z51 performance split 5-spoke, and then torque directional accessory wheel. I don't know what accessory wheel means. What does that mean? Anyway, these are going to be what the brakes look like. If you have the Z51 package, they're going to be slotted. The main way to tell the Z51 package. But let's go on to the next here. We can see, you know, the colors. You can see they added an orange. They added what? A Daytona orange. Got rid of the color, but as you can see, pretty much the same colors. Interior and exterior. Let's see if the wheel accessory wheels. I guess these are just extra wheels. I'm not sure. Okay, these wheels are paired with summer only tires. They're not summer only tires. I would have. No, okay, accessory wheels. I guess. Yeah, they're not meant for performance use. Interesting. Just learned that. Okay, so we have the Stingray wheels. We have the Stingray wheels with Z51 performance package, the Z06 wheels, and the accessory wheels. Yep, I mean, the Z51 wheels are going to be my favorite, obviously, but the Stingray wheels, you know, are cool as well. I'm really not sure what accessory wheels are. I'm kind of... Oh, okay, so an accessory wheel is an extra set. You can't get them just on the car by themselves. These are going to be wheels that you can get on top of wheels that you get on the car. So the car is either going to come with Stingray wheels or the Z51 wheels. Then let's just fly through these next ones. You can see the colors stay the same. They only have 10 colors, but they added a spice red convertible top. I believe in 2016 is when they started adding the spice red, but here we can see in 2016 they also added some more interior colors. Total, we have adrenaline, red, gray leather, jet black leather with suede microfiber. We have dark gray leather, and then we have black suede design package. So black leather, suede, interesting. So, oh, these are going to be design packages. So this has the black leather, but this is the black suede design package. Okay, cool. And then we also have, these are going to be what they look like in different forms. I believe the 1LT has different leather grades than the 2LT and the 3LT. The 1LT has the Mulan leather, and the 2LT and 3LT have the Napa, I believe. But as we can see, these are going to be the design packages that were introduced in 2016. We have the black suede, the twilight blue, and the red spice design. Here we can see the wheel options. We have the Stingray wheels. I'm trying to tell the difference. We have 1 style, 2 styles, 3 styles. Yeah, so we have 3 styles of wheels for the Stingray. These are going to be your standard brakes, just to add. And these are 06 wheels. We won't be looking at those today. And then we can see for the 2017, they added all the graphics that you could get. I didn't mention all the graphics packages, but there are a ton of graphics packages. I'm not really a big fan of graphics packages in general, but you know, if to each their own. If you like them, you like them. You can also see these are going to be the competition sport seats. This is what I was talking about with that Y part. It's hollow as well. These are your standard GT buckets. So these are going to be, they added a Grand Sport Collector Edition design package for 2017. As you can see, it has this blue interior. And we can also see the Grand Sports got their own style of wheels, which look really nice. And then they also added a blue caliper cover for 2018, or caliper color. You can see still the same wheels. They added the turbine, the directional wheels that were accessories with previous years to a standard wheel option. Then we can also see they added some two-tone options as well. Yeah, they didn't have any two-tones with this one, but for 2018, they added some factory two-tones. What else? What else? And then this is the last one right here, and then we can move on. Yep. Let's see. I'm trying to look for any more information that we haven't got. Just basically showing what we saw earlier. Same seats, nothing new here. Wheel choice stays the same. Yep. Except here we can see there is a, oh, these are 0-1 brakes, so everything stays the same. Yep, but or you could get carbon ceramics on the Grand Sport with the Z07 package, so you could also get these too. Anyway, let's move on to the problems, which are very few problems for this car, which is very surprising. And one of the main reasons why people really love this car is that it's such a bulletproof platform. The LT1 engine, you know, it's just a derivative of the LS engine. It's been worked on for years, constantly being improved. And therefore, the problems have pretty much been ironed out. There are some problems, though, and that those occur with early model year cars when things get changed. So we'll just go over that. But first, we'll just go through this short list. We have fiberglass cracking. As I mentioned before, the body panels are made from fiberglass, so you have to make sure that there is no cracking, because you know these aren't able to be replaced as easily or as fixed as easily as metal. They're fiberglass, so you really either have to get them patched over and redone, or just get a new piece in general. You have cracked/warped wheels. This is one of the biggest complaints of the C7 Stingray, is that the wheels, they crack and warp really easily, just going over bumps like potholes and whatnot. You want to make sure that the car rides smooth and doesn't have any vibrations. These are probably going to be caused by either suspension components or cracked and warped wheels. You have automatic transmission issues, jerky shifting. Specifically, this is for the A8 in 2015, the first model year of having the 8-speed transmission. That first iteration of the A8 had some jerky transmission, jerky shifting issues, and they remedied this by putting in a new blend of transmission oil. that basically fixed the issue. You also have MyLink infotainment screen issues. This is mostly on 2018 or 2017 and prior cars. The MyLink is going to have issues where it randomly turns off, or it doesn't respond, or it just doesn't work very well. You really can't do anything about it. You want to make sure that you at least get one with the CarPlay, so you don't really have to rely on MyLink. You also have battery issues. The battery dies prematurely for some reason on some models. This is just an issue. That's why they offer the battery protection package, just so you can keep your battery charged at all times. You also have to make sure that early models are broken in properly. This is mostly for the Z06. However, for just C7s in general, LT engines in general, if you are hard on this engine when it's brand new, it doesn't really last that long. And thankfully, these cars are kind of old at this point. So engines that didn't last, are replaced, or just, it's known by now. However, you just want to make sure that the car was just owned in general by someone responsible, like a true staple Corvette owner, like an old guy with the New Balances, not some hot boy doing donuts in an intersection or something. And then finally, one of the biggest issues people have with this engine are the cylinder deactivation system. So basically, the active fuel management, AFM, it causes cylinder deactivation when you are cruising and not using that much power. And this basically causes one side of the engine to be hot and one side to be cool. And the biggest issue is that, say you're on a road trip, right? You're driving along the highway. You're cruising at 70, it's only using 4 cylinders. This bank, right bank is hot, left bank is cold. You pull over, go to get some gas or get something to eat. You hop back on the highway. Now that cold side of the engine, the right side, is now working at the same pace as the left side. However, the right side of the engine is cold. But you just took off on the highway, like you're not letting the car warm up how you usually do, or you're not really going at the pace of warming up your car, and your car isn't in warm-up mode. So when your car is warming up, if you didn't know, it runs a little bit more rich to get the car warmed up faster, to get it up to operating temperature. That way the oil can properly lubricate the car. Because your car is cold, the oil isn't properly lubricating that side of the engine when you first start off. And this, compounded over time, can lead to valve issues. Basically, the valve train isn't getting enough lubrication, and your lifter starts to degrade. You want to make sure that if you get one of these cars and you have the same concern as me over the active fuel management system, you can actually get it deactivated. But you want to make sure that there's no lifter ticking or anything wrong with the car before you get it, because that could be a sign of lifter issues from the AFM system. Other than that, very reliable engine. People really don't have issues with the base Stingray. It's been pretty much bulletproof. The issues really come with the Z06, with cooling issues, as well as that breaking in the engine. You have to change the oil when you break in these cars in the first 500 miles, which doesn't really matter now because pretty much all of them have over 500 miles. But if you don't change it in the first 500 miles, you could risk, having that debris circulating through your engine for too long and damaging something. So let's get on to the ad part of the video. Starting off on Facebook Marketplace, I got these out of order. We are looking at let's get these all loaded up first, because. All right, so we have our first example. This is going to be a white 2014. It is a Stingray, obviously, but let's see what trim package it has. So looking at the front brakes, you can see it is slotted. So this is a Z51 package. Can we tell whether it is 1, 2, or 3 LT? Looking at the inside, a good way to tell is the heated and ventilated seats, as well as the advanced theft protection system. So this is at least a 2 LT based on the 2 buttons right here. If this was a 1 LT, it would have 1 button right here. So at least a 2 LT. And what makes this a 3 LT is the fact, and so looking at this, it's a 2 LT, but how to differentiate between a 2 LT and a 3 LT is the fact that it has a leather covered top dash. So if the top of the dash isn't leather, that means it is a 3 LT. It came with the full leather, as you can see, as well as being a manual. So this is a 2014 manual car, first model year, 3 LT package. You can see there's nothing here in terms of description for the car. So, oh man, it's crazy. I didn't even put in my headphones. Let's put these in. actually, because I got my sounds on. And I just play that out loud. There we go. All right, cool. Yeah, so 3LT Z51, so pretty much fully loaded, but it is a first model year. You're not going to have some of those standard options that came later. You're not going to have CarPlay. You're not going to have flat bottom steering wheel. You're not going to have a lot of things. It is a first model year. I recommend staying away from these. However, the price is right, which is pretty close. 29.8 is not that bad. However, this does have 80,000 miles, a ton of miles. It says, you know, although it is a Corvette and Corvettes do last a lot of miles, you really don't want to get one that has 80,000 miles if you can help it. I'd say for something like this with 80,000 miles, I'd be willing to go up to $24,000 because it's the first model year. Moving on to our next ad, we have a 2016 Stingray Coupe. Looks like a base model. We can't see any Z51 package here. The brakes are standard, as you can see. Let's look at the interior. Looking pretty base so far. We can also see that it doesn't have heated or ventilated seats, which means this is a 1LT car. This is going to be a base model, completely base, no option car. Completely base. You may have some options. However, it is a 1LT car, so it's missing a lot of the comforts, and so it's missing a lot of the creature comforts that the 2LT has, including heated and ventilated seats. You have memory for the seats. You also have the advanced theft protection. You also have the upgraded sound system. Lots of stuff missing from the 1LT car. Highly recommend not getting a 1LT unless you really know what you're getting, or it's a Z51 package 1LT. But a 1LT with no Z51 package is literally a base Corvette. It's for old ladies at this point. I'd say for a 56,000 mile car for 2016, so it's not a first or second model year, you're going to have problems with 2014 and 2015 for different reasons. 2014 is just the first model year in general. 2015 is going to be that transmission issue. This is going to be 2016, so you're not going to have any of those issues. And you're going to have Apple CarPlay. I'd say for this, I'd be willing to go up to $30,000. Moving on to our next ad, we have a 2016 Z51. Let's see what package it is. Let's see what interior trim level it has. We can see right off the bat on the door, there are no memory buttons. So no memory for the seat. And that means that this is a 1LT car. So what we have here is a Z51 1LT. So this is going to be a base model. So it's going to be the base model car, but with all the sporty upgrades. Some people actually seek out cars like this, cars with everything. This is going to be a car with everything you want and nothing you don't. It's a Z51. It has the upgraded exhaust, the upgraded power. It also has the upgraded suspension, as well as having the shorter gear ratios for the manual. This is an automatic. But yeah, completely base Z51. We can see the center armrest has some wear. So this car has some wear on it. 75,000 miles, a little bit high for something like this, but it is a 2016 Z51. That being said, it is a 1LT, so we got to take that into consideration. I'd say for this being a 2016, not a first model year, not a second model year, but a third model year, and 75,000 miles, I would be willing to go up to $34,000. Moving on to our next ad, we have a 2016 2LT. Doesn't look like a Z51, just simply a 2LT. Let's take a look at the interior. We can see it is a two-tone red and black interior. And you can also see it is 2LT because it has the heated and ventilated seats. You can also see the memory on the door, meaning it is 2LT. Also, the crest on the seat also make it a 2LT. The crest on the seat also show it's a 2LT. Has some aftermarket upgrades. You can see aftermarket AFE intake. Has oil catch can, aftermarket exhaust, heated and cool seats. Yep, okay. So not a bad example of the car. It does have high miles, though, 67,000 miles, a little bit high. However, it is a really good spec for what it is. 2LT with a nice interior spec in terms of color. We have the two-tone red on red. Very nice car. 40,000 is what they're asking. I'd say for something like this, having this many miles, I really wouldn't want to go over $36,000. And then finally, we have a 2018. This is going to be a Grand Sport. Let's see what the interior package is. Right off the bat, we can see it has the color contrast stitching along with the carbon fiber instrument panel. We can see it's at least a 2LT because it has the memory for the driver's seat. And then we can also see that it has slotted rotors. also on the Grand Sport wheels. I'm trying to see the dash. That's a good way to tell if it's 3LT. So as I mentioned, I thought it had color contrast stitching, but it just looks like a highlighted strip, which is really weird. It looks really ugly. I don't know. Like, is that a wire? It doesn't look like it, but it looks really strange. But trying to figure out what trim package this is. I know it's at least a 2LT, but it's at least a 2LT Grand Sport. Let's see. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to bring up the spec sheet for a 3LT, if we can find that difference. So it has leather wrapped, color keyed instrument panel, doors, and center console. I mean, yeah, it's just hard to tell. It looks like a 2LT because this leather has a little bit of grain to it. The 3LT leather is pretty smooth. The Napa leather is pretty smooth. So this is a 2LT car. So we have a Grand Sport 2LT 2018 with 48,000 miles. They want $51,900 for it. 2018 Corvette Grand Sport. We have a 2018 Corvette Grand Sport. It has 48,000 miles and they want $52,000 for it. I'd say for this, I'd say for this being a Grand Sport and being a 2LT, not a base 1LT, but a 2LT, I'd say for this, I'd be willing to go up to $44,000. Moving on to our first ad on Auto Trader, we have a 2016 Chevy Corvette Stingray Coupe with the battery protection package. They wanted to mention that. Very important. It has 103,000 miles and they want $29,740. Let's take a look at what we have on the inside. Off the bat, you can see that it is a 1LT car. Tan interior. You can see some tears here on the seat. Also a dash mat, which doesn't really fit that well as wear on the center console. Very worn car. Not the best condition at all. On top of being a 1LT, super base, not really anything desirable here. However, the price is pretty good if you want to get into something like this. Really wouldn't recommend going for a car over 103,000 miles because 100,000 miles is really where these cars' interiors start to fall apart. As you could see with that armrest. Let's look at the armrest. As you can see with this armrest, the interior doesn't look too good. And they have the dash covered, so you don't know what blemishes or, you know, problems you have with the dash. You really got to check under there. But $29,700 they're asking. 103,000 miles. It is a 2016, so it's not a 2014 or 15, so you don't have those problems. So it will command a little bit higher of a price, but at 103,000 miles, I really wouldn't want to go over $26,000 for this car. Moving on to our next ad, we have a 2015 2LT with the preferred equipment group. You can see moving on to the interior, we have the carbon fiber dash surround. And because it is 2LT, it has the heated and ventilated seats. You can see it is in red. No Z51 package here. The brakes are standard. You can see the memory on the door. 2LT package. Not a bad example. However, this is going to be one of those early 2015 models with the flat. However, this is going to be one of those early 2015 models with the round steering wheel. They didn't get a flat bottom steering wheel until midway through 2015. So this is one of the earlier models. And it is an automatic. So you're also going to have those early A8 transmission problems. Taking that in consideration, they're asking $39,000 for a car with 71,000 miles. It is a 2015. But 38,000 with this many miles is way too high, especially being the car with the transmission issues and not even being a 3LT or Z51. I'd say for this, having this many miles, I'd be willing to go up to $32,000. Moving on to our next ad, we have a 2016 Stingray Coupe with the carbon flash badge package. So it has the carbon badges. Not really the most desirable package, but you know, it has it. They wanted to mention it. You can see it has some aftermarket carbon pieces on the front as well. Also some custom side skirts. On the interior, we can see that it's having some signs of wear, even though it only has 30,000 miles, which is pretty strange. But we can also see that it is the red interior car. We can see that it is a 1LT. So looking at the center console here, we can see it as a 1LT car because it does not have heated or ventilated seats. Unfortunate. So very unfortunate. This is a base level Corvette and should be treated as such. Let's see what they're asking. $45,000 for a 28,000 mile car. Way too much in my opinion. I say something like this, being a 2016 1LT car, though it's a 2016, it doesn't have the automatic transmission issues of the 2015. For 28,000 miles, I really wouldn't want to go over $34,000. Here we have a 2017 Corvette Grand Sport in black, as you can see. Let's look at the interior and see what package it has. So off the bat, it has an all suede steering wheel, very rare option to get, along with having a carbon fiber center console, but not behind the dash. Interesting choice. I've never seen that before where this part is just carbon fiber, so maybe custom. We can see here it's at least a 2LT because it has the advanced theft deterrent, as well as having these badges in the headrests. So we have at least a 2LT car. Looking at the leather on the dash, I do believe this is a 3LT car because of how smooth it is. The grain is very smooth on the 3LTs. It's going to be that Napa leather as opposed to the Mulan leather. Let's see if we can see it on this. Do they show the dash on this car? You can see the grain even on this picture is a lot stronger. Oh man, that's a bad picture. Yeah, not really, you can't really see it, but on this you can just see how smooth it is, plus you see the stitching on top. 3LT Grand Sport, fully spec'd car. This is exactly what I would get in terms of spec. Black Grand Sport 3LT. See what they're asking. 53.9 with 26,000 miles. You know they're close. It is a Grand Sport 3LT, fully spec'd car. This is best you can get without getting a Z06. And you know, they're not too far off. I'd say for this, having 26,000 miles, I'd be more around $46,000, $47,000. And then moving on to our final ad on AutoTrader, we have a 2019 last model year Grand Sport in Corvette Racing Yellow. Very nice color, very rare color. Let's see what the interior spec looks like. Off the bat, we can see it is a 2LT car at the very least because it has the safety, the theft deterrent, because it has the theft deterrent options here. You can also see the heated and ventilated seats. The back piece is in plastic. However, you can see that dash is in leather, as well as the top of the doors being in the same Napa leather as well. So what we have here is a 3LT car with no carbon facing. Very nice example. I wish it had the carbon though, but we'll take that in consideration. Only 3,400 miles, almost brand new, and they want it for $63,400. Not a bad price if I'm going to be honest. $63,400 for almost brand new 2019 Grand Sport is kind of insane. I mean, this price is like how much it cost brand new back in the day. You know, like it hasn't really gone down with the inflation is what I'm trying to say. Something like this, I'd be willing to go up to 55 for it. 55, and that would be a really good deal. So moving on to Car Gurus, the final place we look at ads. We have our first example here. It's going to be a 2015 Z51 1LT. So it's going to be a base model with all the sport options. Z51, you can see the slotted brakes. Let's look at the interior, see what colors we have. 1LT, but with the red seats. So this is pretty much as good as you can get while being a base car. It is going to be an early model 2015. We can see it has the round steering wheel, no flat bottom here. It is also going to be a manual car. So pretty, well, actually, no, now that I think about it, all Z51s are manual. Duh. Anyway, we'll cut that part out. Very well spec'd car for what it is, if I'm going to be honest. This would be something an enthusiast would get. It is base spec, so none of the options, but you do have the upgraded performance and the short gear ratio and the manual with the short gear ratio. Gosh, and the manual with the short gear ratio. Can't speak this afternoon. Wow, it's late. Gosh, I'm running late. Usually I'm done by now. Anyway, very nicely spec'd in my opinion. Like, this is exactly how you would spec your car if you want to get the best deal possible. The best deal possible. Gosh, I need to get some water, man. Oh man. Okay, back to cars. Z51 with the 1LT with the red interior. So we have a red on red 1LT Z51 early model 2015 with the rear with the round wheel and the black wheels. I'd say for this, having 80,000 miles, ton of miles for this, and being a 1LT, I really wouldn't want to go above $26,000. Moving on to our next ad, we have a 2015 3LT convertible. So this is going to be a non-Z51 car, but it is 3LT convertible, so this is going to be pretty much fully spec'd. Very old man spec here. We have the 5-spoke turbine wheels in chrome with the convertible 3LT. As you can see, we got the leather wrapped door handles as well as the leather wrapped top of the dash. The garage opener, this is going to be standard on 2LT, but they show it. We got even a brand new key fob. Very cool. So we have the, what interior does this car have? It doesn't really show the seats. So we have the seats with the perforated leather inserts, and it is going to be, and it's also a early model 2015, as you can tell by the round wheel. I'd say for this, having 54,000 miles, you know, this price is pretty close. 2015 3LT, so fully loaded car. This is going to be highly desirable. Although it's a convertible, it's going to be one of the most desirable convertibles because it is a 3LT. It's going to have all the options. Granted, the interior color is not the best. It is going to be a tan interior, so this is very much an old man spec car. I'd price this one, having 54,000 miles, around $34,000. Next, we have a 2018 Z51 3LT. So this is going to be a later model year, fully loaded interior and having all the performance upgrades. See what we're working with here. No interior pictures. Wow, that was a fail on my part. That slaps for me because I did not even see if they had any pictures. But this is a 3LT Z51. We'll just go off of what it says with 51,000 miles. So medium amount of miles, not too much. It's a late model. 2018 is one of the last model years. So that being a late model, plus having the Z51 package, along with being a 3LT, I'd price, I mean, 49 isn't that far off, honestly. It is a 2018, but it has a lot of miles. So having this many miles, I'd price this at $45,000. Here we have a Grand Sport convertible. This is going to be a 1LT Grand Sport. So we have a Z51, so we have a Z06 bodied Grand Sport base model with a convertible. Very interesting combo we have here. Let's look at what the interior looks like. I mean, it is 1LT, so you're not going to have much. However, it does have the red seat, so it has something going for it. No memory seat option here because it is a 1LT. No heated or ventilated seats either. And we can see it does not have carbon around the dash. And as we can see, it doesn't have carbon around the dash. It's not even on the Grand Sport wheels. However, these might be 19 Grand Sport wheels. Yep, these are on ZR1 wheels. Interesting spec. We have a very interesting spec. We have a 2018 Grand Sport convertible 1LT on ZR1 wheels. So this guy really got exactly what he wanted when they optioned this from the factory. Very unique spec, but because it's such a weird spec, we need to take that into consideration with the price. They already kind of discounted a little bit at 50 grand. It only has 21,000 miles, so this is pretty reasonable already. However, you know me, I have to take a little bit off just because I have to. I'd be willing to go up to $47,000 for this car. And finally, we have a 2019 Grand Sport 3LT. So this is literally the best example we've looked at today. Last model year, Grand Sport with the Z06 body, Z06 suspension, as well as being 3LT, meaning it has all the bells and whistles. Let's take a look at what the interior spec looks like. We can see it also has the carbon fiber dash surround. Very optioned car. We can also see it has the competition bucket seats. Actually, hold on. Let me see. It's been so long, I can't even remember what these seats are called. Yep. And we can also see it as the competition sport bucket seats. Fully loaded car. Pretty much every option you could ever want on one of these without being a Z06. And in a cool color too. Really can't beat this. Carbon fiber on the seats as well. You can see competition. No blank buttons here. You also get your little Grand Sport badge on the center console, as well as the frameless rear view mirror. You can see the black Grand Sport wheels along with the slotted rotors. Very nice car. Every single box ticked. They want 70 grand for this. It only has 17,800 miles. You know, as I mentioned before, anyone who has a nice example of a car can kind of name their price. However, for me, I wouldn't be willing to go above $62,000. It's cool. That wraps up the ads for today. If I were to recommend a specific model year and trim package car to get, I have a couple options for you. I recommend getting a 2016 ZL1, 2016 Z51, excuse me, with a 3LT. I think that would be the best bang for your buck because you're going to have the newest version. Because if you're getting an automatic, if you're getting a manual, you can get a 2015 Z51. So if you're getting automatic, I recommend getting a 2015 Z51 3LT. If you're trying to get that's like the best bang for your buck overall. If you're trying to get the best sports car without paying, and if you're trying to get the best sports car and pay the least amount of money, I suggest getting a Z51 1LT car. Try to find one with a cool interior spec, but you know, of course, it's going to be a very base car. You're not going to have any luxuries. I really wouldn't recommend getting that unless you're using it for like purpose car. But if that's your like only car, you're trying to daily drive it, don't get a 1LT package car. It's not going to have stuff that you really want. What else? If you want the best example, obviously get a 3LT Grand Sport. Those are going to be really rare and really hard to find compared to the rest of the model. There are tons of Stingrays and regular Corvettes, but as you get more specific with these trim packages, they get rare, obviously. Those are also going to be the most expensive. I think to get the best bang for your buck Grand Sport, obviously you should get a 1LT Grand Sport 2017 model. That's going to be the first model year of the Grand Sport, and then you're getting it with the least amount of options. A 1LT Grand Sport is better than a 1LT Stingray. It's going to come with a little bit more performance upgrades. I also recommend getting the performance exhaust. That is going to add the extra power to whatever car you have. So if you don't get a Z51, the performance exhaust will get you the Z51 power. If you get a Grand Sport, we didn't look at any examples, but with the Grand Sport, you can also get a Z07 package, which is the same package that comes on the Z06 in terms of extra aero and suspension and braking. It comes with the carbon ceramic brakes. You can get that for a Grand Sport, but at that point, you're going to be spending so much on a Grand Sport, you might as well get like a 1 or 2 LT or 1 or 2 LZ Z06 instead, just to get that extra performance without paying, you know, an extra fee. But yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. 2017 Grand Sport I recommend. 2016 Z51 3LTs autos, or you can get a Z51 2015. Stay away from the 2014s. Yeah, basically it. I wish you guys luck on your search for a Corvette Stingray. I will have a Z06/ZR1 video coming out later. Just to capture the entire C7 Corvette, because I understand a lot of people are looking at those cars specifically and not these because they are the base Stingray. Tomorrow I will be doing the Ferrari 458 Italia, one of my favorite cars, one of the best cars ever produced. So look forward to that. What else? Next week I'm going to be doing some more regular cars. They're still going to be sporty. I think next week is going to be a JDM week for me, so we're going to be doing a lot of 90s JDM hero cars, which are going to be a little bit harder to do in my opinion because they're harder to find stock to look at examples, and also trying to find the differences in between these cars is kind of difficult because of all the different aftermarket things people have added over time. These are going to be older cars, but I think we'll be able to get through it. I think on Monday, I'm going to do the R32 GTR simply because that is the most prevalent Skyline right now online because it was able to be imported earliest. And then we'll do like the Supra, the NSX, RX-7. We'll do the Evo 8. Yeah, and then after that, probably next week, I'm going to do American Muscle and so on. Then, you know, we'll do some SUVs. We'll just get through all of them. My goal right now is to actually get to 100 episodes. We're on episode 47, almost halfway there. And I'm not going to lie to y'all. It has been a lot of work, but it has been really fulfilling and rewarding. I've got to meet a ton of new people through doing this. You know, a lot of people have reached out to me, and it's just nice to be able to help people out with something that I have such a love and interest for. Cars is like my biggest hobby, my biggest passion, and be able to share that information with others and teach people on how to get the best deals and not be one of these lames in a base model 3 series or something like that. Yeah. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys tomorrow again with the 458 Italia. Have a great rest of your Thursday. And as always, have a good one and be safe. Peace.